Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today I'm going to show you how to list all of the open programs on your PC using the EnumWindows function in Microsoft Access. Why is this useful? Well, you'll find out in just a minute. Today's question comes from Daniel in Greenville, South Carolina, one of my Platinum members. I'm actually going to be visiting South Carolina this weekend myself. Daniel says, I'm using your app activate code to switch to my web browser and then copy some data from there into my Access application. Usually the title stays the same, but once in a while the website modifies the title just a bit and it throws my code off. Is there any way to loop through all the open windows and look for a piece of text in the title instead of having to match the entire thing? This happens to me all the time too, Daniel. I use some code to switch to my bank's website, right? I open up the bank's website, I log on, and then I use some code to switch from my Access database to that window, copy the text and bring it back so I can analyze it for like balance information and stuff. And once in a while, the bank changes the title just slightly. And one of the problems with app activate is that you have to know the exact title to switch to it. But I'm going to show you some code that'll allow you to loop through all of the open windows, and then you can find a piece of that code. So if you know, for example, the window includes PayPal, you can grab that. Or if it includes, Regions Bank, you can go switch to that window. Or if you have 5 different Word documents open and you know what the title of the Word document is, but maybe not the exact title, like the name of your document, you can switch to that. All right, so first off, if you have not yet watched my app activate video, go watch this first. I show you how to shell an application, in other words, launch an application like Notepad or Calculator or whatever, and then app activate can be used to switch to that application. So let's say you open up Notepad, you go back to your Access application, then you want to launch that specific Notepad again. That's what app activate is good for. So you could switch between open applications and do things like send keys there, or you can copy information from it and so on. So go watch this very helpful video. Today, we're going to learn how you can list all of the open applications and switch to a specific one based on part of the title. App Activate requires you to know the exact title that's in the Windows title bar. And of course, today is a developer lesson. That means you're going to need to know some VBA, which of course, if you watch the App Activate video, you know all that stuff. So we'll continue on. Here we go. Ready? Okay. Okay, here I am in the Tech Help free template, which you know what this is already, right? We're going to use our little status box window here. And we're going to list all of the windows that are open on the system. We're going to put them in the status box. If you don't know what a status box is, I got a video for that too. I'll put it down in the links section. All right, so we're going to rename this button EnumWindows, because that's the function we're going to use to enumerate all of the windows, to list all the windows, right? Right-click, build event. That's going to open up my VBA code builder. Slide this over here. Slide this up like that. All right, so we don't want a status hello world. Let me put some blanks down here. Okay, there we go. Sometimes I find it helps to put some blank lines at the bottom. All right, so let's put in here enumerating windows. I think I spelled that right. Now we're going to use a special function that's part of the Windows API, Application Programmer Interface, right? It's something that's built into Windows. It comes with the programming libraries that are already built into Windows. But in order to use it, we need to make a reference to it, and you can't put a reference to it in a form module. So we're just going to say list windows, and then we're going to create our own module to put that list windows in, okay? All right, so save this, and we're going to come over here. You could put it in, there's a global module in here if you want to. Yeah, let's just stick it in here. We'll stick it in the global module. Okay, so down here, we need a public sub called list windows where we do our stuff, all right? Now, what stuff's going to go in here? Well, first, I need a way to view what I'm doing. I need to update my status function, right? Let's make a status function in here so that I can work with this status box, even though I'm in a global module, right? Because I can't use the other guy's status function that's in here, all right? I can do something similar to it, though. So what we'll do is we're going to build a global status function. We'll put it right up here, and there it is, all right? We're going to create our own status function out here that'll take an S, just like the other one does. And it does the exact same thing as the other status function, except it's working with Forms main menu F status box. That's the only difference. All right, so that the global module knows what form this box is on. Okay, easy enough. Everyone with me? Okay, great. Now, when our list Windows code runs, the first thing I want to do is blank that status box. So let's just set it equal to nothing. All right, empty string. And then we're going to do the enumeration of the windows. Now, just like this guy right here, this sleep function comes from Windows. See that kernel 32 there? All right, there's lots of different DLLs and other kinds of programming language stuff that comes with Windows and with Office that you can use in all of your Office applications. And the two that we're going to use for this particular example are these. I'm just going to paste them in for you. All right, there's EnumWindows and there's GetWindowText. We'll need both of these to loop through all the windows that are open on the system and get the text that's in the title bar. Now, I'm not going to explain what all of these different parameters are. I'm going to show you how to use them. Okay? Think of it like driving a car. You don't need to know exactly how an internal combustion engine works in order to drive the car. Right, so we're going to learn how to drive the car today. I'm not going to explain every little detail here. But essentially, EnumWindows lets you loop through all the windows on the system, and GetWindowText is used to get the text of that window. And no, even I don't remember all this stuff myself. I will either copy this from a reference book or Microsoft's documentation or other websites or a book or whatever. There's no way I can even remember all this stuff. I don't think any developer does. We're all copying and pasting stuff. In fact, I will put this text on my website for you guys to copy and paste for these functions here. I don't like giving you guys all the text because I want you to write some of it. You learn better by typing in code yourself instead of copying and pasting everything. But the stuff that I'll usually put on my website for everybody to copy is the stuff that even I copy and paste. I'm not going to sit here and type this all in. Okay, I got this off a Microsoft site, so I'll put a copy of this on mine too. I'll make it easier on you. But the rest of the code, I want you to type. It builds your developer experience by typing stuff in. All right, so come back down here into list windows. Now that we have our declarations up top, we can actually use those functions. Here's what we're going to start with. We're going to start with that. EnumWindows, and then address of EnumWindows list only, 0. Again, I'm not going to explain everything in exquisite detail, but this is basically going to call a function that we're going to create called EnumWindows list only. This is called a callback function. All right, so that means EnumWindows is going to loop through all the windows that are open, enumerate them, right? And every time it finds one, it's going to call our callback function and do some stuff with it. Okay, what stuff? Well, let's tell it. Let's create our own function right here called EnumWindows list only, and we need these two parameters. Type those in. Okay, or gold members, you can copy that if you want to. All right, so EnumWindows is going to send two parameters to our function. We don't need to worry what they are. It's just going to send two things in. All right. We have to declare a couple variables, buffer, L, and title. And then we're going to use these variables to figure out what the title of this window is. So by the time we're done with all this, we'll have title being equal to the title of the current window in our loop, in our enumeration loop. Okay. Then we're going to use our status function to display the title of the window. We're going to say status and then win : and then title. Okay. Or you can put window here or program or whatever you want to call it. All right. And for now, we're going to enumerate all of the windows. You can put a stop in here by setting that to 0 if you find the window you're looking for. We'll do that in just a second. But right now, I just want to list all of them. All right, so we should be good to go at this point. See, it's not that complicated. Again, you don't got to know what all this stuff is to set this up. Right? Once you get it set up, now you can play with it. Right? All right, so let's give it a quick debug compile. Everything looks good. Let's come back out here. Let's close it, save it, open it. All right, my window moved. There we go. Click the button, and there you go. See, it's still running. There's a lot of windows open on my system, folks. Now, there's a lot of stuff that is going to be found that is not necessarily valid open programs. Things like this default IME, this MCST, whatever this stuff is. There's a lot of empty stuff in here. Okay, I'm scrolling. There's a lot of stuff. So I'm going to set up some like empty stuff here, blank stuff. Now, there's a good program, HyperSnap. There's my program manager. All right, there's my PowerPoint app that I use for my slides and so on. So I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to change this and put some exclusions in here. All right, what exclusions? Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to say if the title is not empty and not is null title and the title isn't this and the title isn't this, whatever other stuff irritates you. This shows up a lot for me. I use Google Drive, right? System resource notify, the window shows up a ton. So if it's not one of these things, then go ahead and list it. Okay, just exclude the stuff you don't want to see. All right, let's try it again. Ready, go. Much shorter list, and there's a better list of all of your actual applications out. And you can hide more stuff if you want to. Hide the DDE server window, hide the task host window, and you'll eventually whittle it down to stuff that you want to see. Okay, but bottom line is now you can find something that you're looking for and then stop. So let's say you're looking for, how about this video rewind? Right there. Okay, that's in my WinSCP. That's like an FTP program that I use. Let's say I'm looking for that. The whole title of the application is that, but let's say I'm just looking for the window that says video rewind. Okay. All right, here I could say if in string, the title, video rewind is not 0, then status found it, right? And then we'll set that EnumWindows list only equals 0, else make it 1 and keep looping, right? Stop. Save it and run, and boom, stop right there. See, it went through all of them until it found video rewind and then said found it, and it stopped. Okay. Now that you found it, you can switch to that window and do stuff, right? You could send keys to it. You can copy data from it, all kinds of cool stuff. But now you've located the window. And in the extended cut for the members, I'm going to show you how to do the rest of that stuff that I just talked about. We're going to switch to that program, select all the text in the window, copy it, go back to Access, paste it in a text box, and then we can do stuff with it. We can parse the data. We can look for dollar amounts. We can look for certain specific information, whatever you want to do once you get the text, right? We'll also deal with the crazy numlock issue, because sometimes when you're using send key, we have to use send keys for this. Sometimes when you use send keys, the numlock flips on. I'll show you how to turn that back off too. And my ultimate goal, I haven't done this yet. I'm going to be doing this after I finish this extended cut today. I'm going to be adding this to my account balances template, because what I do every day, and if you've watched the account balances videos, what this is designed for is so that you can keep all of your credit card accounts and your bank accounts. You keep all your account balances, right? So every day or week or whatever, however often you do it, you should do it at least once a month. You go to the bank's website, you figure out how much your balance is, you put that in your database. Okay, that's a pain to have to type all that in. So what I want to do is I want to open up the website, go to my database, click a button, have it switch to that website page, copy the data, figure out what the balance is based on the text that's provided, and then automatically put that in the database. So I'm going to be working on that later today, but I figured I'd go through all this stuff first to show you how this works. So that's going to be covered in the extended cut, switching to the program, copying data back, and that's going to be your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something. Go play with it. Go have fun. Go do some stuff with it. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.